Have already said they're looking forward to seeing Mo Salah again. Did you have a preferred option at all in the draw? And is this the part in the season where it becomes all about the Champions League and it doesn't matter where you finish in the top four in the Premier League?
That sounds like you think we are too early. No problem. We really can wait. No? But if you saw a few others on the street? Yeah. That sounds like you think we are already in the top four. So, yeah, that's your life. Now we have to. I said it a few times. I think our whole life is qualifying for the Champions League. So it means the two games against Rome will be about qualifying for the next round, which would be the final, and all the other games are about qualifying for the Champions League next year. So, and because our opponents in the fight for the top four are too strong, and you cannot think that they will not win every game or whatever. That's just, it's possible. So we need to be focused on Bournemouth, on West Brom, on Stoke, Chelsea then, and then Brighton, so 100%. But in the specific moments when we face Roma, we will be ready for that game. So that's it. Rome is, I think I'm the only place of the three options we had where I've never played before. So that's already exciting. And I think it's how it always is and should be. It's a difficult. Will be two difficult games because it's a fantastic side who saw the two games against Barcelona. If somebody only saw these two games, then you know already pretty much everything about Rome. They play, I think, a good season after a difficult transfer window for them last year. With lost not only Mo, they lost Emerson and a few, already two really key players for them, and they still play a really good season and fighting for the Champions League again. So. Until we face Rome, we will know everything about them, obviously. And in this moment, I only know that because I watched the second leg against Barcelona. That was outstandingly good, and so everything how it should be.
You also have Mo Salah fighting for the Premier League Golden Boot as well. I just wonder what you made of Spurs' appeal for Eriksen's goal to be switched to Harry Kane, and the subsequent decision to give that goal to Harry Kane as well.
Yeah, I'm in football since ages, and I know how strikers are. So, and if he felt the touch, then he felt the touch. I don't doubt Harry Kane a little bit. So, the one is there, and Mo is the same kind of person. So you score a goal, so you score a goal. That's how it is. I'm still not sure who scored the goal at Maribor, when Roberto and Mo went both in, but I saw both celebrating. What is good because we scored it at the end. So I think that's normal, and it's not about me to judge that or whatever. I know Harry, he's a fantastic player. Don't know him as a person, but it looks like he's a good guy as well. So that's strikers are different. They have to be different, and we all like that. Yeah, and in this case, obviously, it was not obvious. But how is that? If he felt it, then he felt it.
How much of a part is Emre Can going to be able to play between now and the end of the season with that back injury?
The first, when I heard first about it, was kind of, will be difficult to play again. But the season which we were talking about was mid of May. Now we have still the chance that it's a little bit longer. Since then, Emre developed really well. To be honest, it's always if you get if someone tells you the time it will take, then it's always a guess. It's not 100%. It's when a ligament is ruptured, you know it because of experience, needs around about 6 weeks only the ligament to heal, and then you have to do all the rest around. But it's with these kind of injuries, it's different, and so he's in good hands in a moment, and he's not overly happy about the situation, you can imagine, but he's quite positive that it goes quicker than imagined, and that's no, I'm waiting for that. So I don't know. I know I said in a German interview, but they asked me is the season over, and at that moment it was like probably, but it's not that true anymore, to be honest, and so that's good news. But he will not be ready for Bournemouth. That's for sure.
Is there any further news on Adam as well, Adam Lallana?
Similar. It's similar. So it will be close. That he can come back again. No rush in, makes no sense. But if Adam is available, then we will see it. And it's not. How is that? I don't want to close the door for the season. How can I? And it's not good. Joel Matip is for sure out. I saw him walking around here, so he will not come back. But with the other two, there's at least a little bit of hope.
As far as your team selection for Bournemouth, then, is it going to be more like the Everton team, more like the Manchester City team that you chose for that one? What were the main factor in terms of how you select
the quality of Bournemouth? Is all I ask for. It's we don't have a game on Tuesday again, so why should I think it's then Saturday? I think the next one at exactly in 1 week against West Brom. So who's available is available, and who will play. So we had it's a longer part of the week we have now from Tuesday to Saturday. That's good. It's not Wednesday and then Saturday at 12:30. So it's a big difference really, and so that's all fine. We have to make a completely normal lineup. If somebody expects now that they do from now on make this kind of selections because I have always Rome in the background or even Kiev. That would make my life really a little bit difficult, because the only way to go to win football games is to be completely focused on what you are doing. And if we are all waiting, hopefully nothing happens until then it will happen. So we have to stay cool, we have to do our job, and we are not. Unfortunately, I would love to say we are through, we are in top four, and I don't know what people would then expect and say, yeah, now you play the U18s or what. That makes all no sense. We need rhythm, we need shape, we need momentum, we need all these things to be in the right moment, in the best shape. You cannot win against these teams. No one of them, not Bournemouth, not West Brom, not Rome. If you are not at your best, that's how it is. They fight for different things, and I respect that, and so that will have the biggest influence on my lineup.
Yeah, just in terms of how well the midfield has done as well, does Jordan have a problem getting back into the starting lineup now?
I have 4 senior midfield players, and I play now, and Jordan played outstandingly good in the last few games, and I tell him because he was not involved in which game? In City game, because second the other, I tell him, now you have to fight back, my friend. So he's not a shadow of a doubt about attitude, so he is already hot. He has the freshest legs, if you want, in the midfield. I would be silly if I don't use him. No.
Julia?
Jurgen, I spoke to Alex after the game at Manchester City, and he was saying, and you've spoken about how the concentration, the focus is on qualifying for the Champions League next season, but he was saying that performance, that result can just go on and inspire now the squad, the group of players that you've got into. He was saying that at the right level, they can go on and beat anyone in this league. So they're taking that and using that as a positivity now for the rest of this season.
Yeah, they should, but at the end, that's what you say. What we felt after the game against Man City, I think in that moment, if somebody would have asked, can you conquer the world? We'd have said, let's try. And that's completely normal. You're full of all different things and adrenaline and all that stuff. So it's good. It's positive. It was very positive going through that round against Man City in the manner we did. That's really not normal. That was outstanding. I loved it. But then, how it always is in life is a summary of challenges, and the next challenge is now Bournemouth. And the thing is that you can see it here. Nobody's really interested in Bournemouth in the moment. Even if we play them tomorrow, it's not like this. It's about what is he thinking about Rome and all that stuff. And that's our surrounding. That's where we go now. If we would go out wherever, only buying a bread, then they would say, and Rome, good draw. And you have to say, yes, but tomorrow, by the way, is Bournemouth. So, and I have no problem with that. And that's what I want from the boys. We have to show up, and again and again and again. It's a good moment. Club is in a good situation. Atmosphere, all is good, but now we have to use it still. And there's no reason to think about anything else. We had so many problems in the last few weeks, here and there, with players not available in the moment when you really need pretty much all of them. And so far, so good. But how it needs to stay.
Can bring it back down then to another level. Bring it back down. And Mo Salah, obviously, everyone's talking about him week in, week out, and there are quotes from yourself this week about how you're not worried that he may move on in terms of transferring to another club, despite the profile that he has, and you're not concerned in the fact like Luis Suarez left and Phil Coutinho as well, but you're happy and you believe that he'll be here long term.
Yeah. Of course, no. It's all about the question. It's not a situation that I would even think about it. So Mo Salah came in a year ago, not full year, 9 months roundabout ago. He came in, to make the next step in his career, and he did it. So that's it. To come to Liverpool, really to Liverpool, he had different options, and he wanted to come here. So if you now always start talking after a year, and it's all that thing. Is it will he leave or whatever? And then I don't think about it. But it was again in the German interview. He asked me pretty much the same question, and I said, "Yes, I'm confident. I think he will be." I don't think. I know he will be here. But that's all. It's not. It's only because people always have something to write, something to talk about, and all that stuff. But on the other side, we are not all like we don't want to change all time. And now here, now settled here, now go there, completely new surrounding. We have a big chance here to create something for the future. In the moment, we have to deliver performances, collecting points, winning, whatever, and then. But it's all the team is in a. It's good. The age group of the team is really good. We are all they are still young and full of potential and all that stuff. So, and my impression at the moment is they're all excited about being in this group. And that's it.
Yeah, Jurgen, you're now the only side left in the Premier League that's unbeaten at home in the league this year. Manchester City lost at home last weekend. So you have 3 home games left. How significant an achievement would it be to be unbeaten for the whole year?
I would love it, but 3 draws would not make me really happy, to be 100% honest. So I have no problem with records and stuff like that. It's always good, but it's really about the next game. And again, Bournemouth. This, how I see it, I don't want to be disrespectful, but it looks like a really tiny, small club there in the south of England, wonderful region. They do an outstanding job. They saved the league pretty much 4 or 5 match days before the end of the season. So many big clubs, big history clubs struggle, are already in the championship, or maybe will go there. That's such a big achievement. I really, Eddie Howe and his stuff, what they are doing there, and the boys, it's unbelievable. So they have all my respect there. So, and I don't think a second about the other games after that. So that's it. That's really Bournemouth football playing side, good counter-attacking side, fantastic squad, different options, wingers, strikers. Now, okay, Stanislas out, but still really good options. Changed a lot during the year, lineup-wise and stuff like that. So always reacted and still stayed to their style. And that's really good, I have to say. That's really good. And I know always when you talk about managers of the year and stuff like that, it's always about the guys up who's champion or whatever. But what Eddie Howe is doing there, that's outstandingly good. And so we need to be ready for that game, really 100% ready, and not think about any records. But it was difficult enough to win or not lose all these games. If we would have won all of them, then I would be much more happy than we would be already in the Champions League qualified. So a few draws were involved. So let's start the next run.
Check on injuries. Anyone struggle after the midweek game?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. So because it was intense, but I think until tomorrow we will have 11. So that's how it is. Of course, it's not that you. The morning after a game, when you wake up, then you feel the intensity of a game. Directly after a game, it's pretty rare that somebody really feels it. And so we are used to deal with that. And so now we have one more session this afternoon, and we'll use them to give the last 2 informations, and then we will have, I think, a good team which will face Bournemouth.
Jurgen, the scenes at the end of the City game where you and the players went over to the fans at the end, was that another reminder just how seemingly everyone at the club is pulling in the same direction.
Yeah. Didn't need that proof, didn't need that. I knew it before, but of course it's wonderful. So that's, we all know that football is not the most important thing in life, but it's in this specific moment it feels like this. And then if you can join moments like this with your fans, that's just outstanding. I'm really not a social media guy or something like that, but I watch on I love these little videos when people celebrate at home or whatever, and they go completely nuts, and you think, wow, because that's the life we don't have anymore. We are all football fans, but it's really rare that we understand, and if we understand, then something bad happened before that, where we really can feel that, and then you see it at least where we were really close. You can see the faces, you can see the joy, and yeah, that was outstanding. And we all felt exactly the same, unbelievably happy, and yeah, great in that moment. In that moment, life catches you then always again afterwards with all the problems, but these moments are really rare, and so we enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, just check. Yeah, we just had a message through saying that there's not going to be VAR in the Premier League next season. Premier League clubs have voted not to have it in the Premier League next season. What do you make of that?
It's a private message, or
it's an email that's come through from one of my colleagues, and if it will load up, it says that Premier League clubs have today agreed to continue advanced testing of video referees throughout 2018-19.
But a World Cup,
no VAR.
but it will be at the World Cup, right? The World Cup will be VAR, or the Premier League decided as well. It will not be the World Cup.
Premier can't do that.
I think a few people think they could do it. Yeah. The only experience I have with VAR, it's not really an experience. We have the West Brom game, and I really think that was very interesting. To be honest, it was very interesting, and we all agreed that it took a little bit long for all decisions. We spoke about that. In Germany, how I said, it's settled. It needed time, and it will need time. When we start with in England, then a year later, it still will need time in that situation. So I don't know what I would say is a perfect solution or decision or not. I don't know actually. It's just like it is. I think in a lot of moments you would love to have it. In some moments, so sometimes you suffer because of no VAR, and sometimes you have the benefit of it. That's how it is. But I stay to it. I stick to it. I really would prefer that we have the right decisions. But it need to be fixed before that. I think it's not perfect in the moment. I heard an interesting piece, I think, on radio about rugby. They use it as well, and they are not overly happy with it because now they start talking about everything. So that needs to settle. There still must be. After a throw-in, which was the wrong way, and they score a goal, and then you go back and say, oh, I saw it, throw-in was for the other team. That's all. The culture and the soul of football needs to stay, and the part of the football is, even if I'm not the best in accepting these things, because I feel it happens too often, but if I'm not bad, it's this kind of discussion after the game. So, right, not right, the penalty of Real Madrid against Juve, I think they would be together. The VAR 2.5 hours, and then they would have said, I think there was contact, no contact, yes, it stays difficult. But to make the right decisions more likely, I think that, and to help the ref, really, I think that's important, to help the ref in these situations, not to make life more difficult for them. Then it makes absolute sense. If the smart people think it's not the time for that, yeah, then we wait another year and work on it.
Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks, Jurgen.
Welcome.